On the 19th of June 2020, after 7 years of waiting and multiple delays, we finally get our hands on the second installment of Naughty Dog's The Last of Us. After sitting at my desk for 2 hours like the schmuck I am, waiting for the timer to count down, I started my stream and played through the first 5 hours of the game. In that time, there was so much to experience and to see, and I continued playing 4 hours later off stream to get the full experience of the game. Throughout the game you play as two characters, Ellie, the little girl we all watched grow up and survived with throughout the first game, and Abby, a new controversial addiction, but I'll get onto her later. Now I'm going to be completely honest, there is a lot of stuff that is wrong with the game, and looking at these stats, I'm not the only one that sees that. However, we've known for years, since 2016 to be exact, that this was going to be a completely different game to the original. Some of the points raised in these reviews actually make sense, but most of them are as equally fucking stupid. So as of recording this video, I have finished the game and gone back through to bring you an honest review of The Last of Us Part 2. Before we get onto how this video is going to work, if you are new to the channel, please subscribe and like this video because it shows me that you enjoy the content that I create. Also, while you're here, please go follow my Twitch, my Twitter and my Snapchat, as I also stream and announce when I do on both Twitter and Snapchat. Please excuse on how depressed I sound or may look in this video. I have not slept in 26 hours because I've tried to get this out as quickly as I can after finishing it. I'm also going to issue a massive spoiler alert now because some of the things I'll be talking about will involve some of the main story, and I'll put a red spoiler alert on the screen before I talk about it too, so don't you worry. So I'm going to divide this video into sections: what is wrong with the game, what it did right, and my personal opinions on the rating and what I rate the game. I've rambled on long enough, so let's get right into the review. Right, so where do I begin? Oh, wait, I know exactly where to begin. The story we follow feels sloppy, poorly written and at some points random. With two stories that we experience and follow over the same period of time, both are filled with long-winded flashbacks about the character you're playing as in the chapter. Without any spoilers, the main goal for both of the playable characters is vengeance. Some of the dialogue also feels very forced between characters. From the trailers we see Ellie and Dina become love interests and their lines between each other are supposed to be flirty, and it just doesn't feel like that. Now, I'm not saying the acting is bad because it is certainly not. Both Ashley and Shannon are amazing actresses, but if you look at some of their lines that they were given, you can see that they were not well written at all.
Some of these, and some of these. Almost there, and done. Now let's see how it looks so far.
As I've said, we also get a lot of flashbacks to the 4-year gap between the two games, and in this time we have some of the best cutscenes we ever see. However, most of them completely ruin Joel and Ellie's relationship that was built across the first game. Most of these scenes show tensions growing between them and Ellie lashing out at Joel for no reason, ruining this bond that we all watched form. And just look at that phase, he's just trying to be a good dad. Another issue with the game is the newest character and villain, Abby. Naughty Dog have created an antagonist so despicable it hurts to play as her. You would have thought that would have been a good thing, right? No, we see Abby over a 6-month period, and the things that she does and the actions the game forces us to do as her are absolutely horrifying. Oh, did I mention that the game makes you play through 12 hours of content as her? They then try to make us sympathize with Abby by showing us her backstory, getting her to do heroic acts by saving people, and attempting to justify the disturbing things that she's done. But as a player, we just don't care. Naughty Dog have somehow managed to create an antagonist so easy to hate that it is bad. The next issue involves a major spoiler, so there's going to be a spoiler alert here in the bottom left. This is where I get into what is wrong with some of the main story, so if you don't want some of the main story spoiled for you, some of the key events, skip to the timestamp that is on screen right now or the one that's in the description. One of the things that bugged me more than anything throughout the game is Joel's death, and I feel like they rushed the game by killing him off in literally the first fucking chapter of the game. I'm telling you now, when I get a hold of a weapon, I swear to God I am popping every... Okay. You play as Joel in the original game, fighting through America to deliver this girl who holds the cure to mankind. The man literally kills a whole military force to save his surrogate daughter, only to be taken out by a random group of teens. We all know that Joel is not a good person. Nobody is arguing that. He steals humanity's only chance for a vaccine because he doesn't want to lose his quote-unquote daughter again. The biggest selfish act in mankind. I'm not saying that Joel didn't deserve to die, but he deserved a better send-off than what he got. And what else bugs me about Joel's death is that he died to a situation that his character in the first game would never get himself into. Throughout the first Last of Us, you see him have trust issues with Sam and Henry, Marlene, even Ellie herself right at the beginning of the game. It's not like Joel or Tommy's character to meet a random girl and to follow her, and that ultimately leads to his death. I was editing a video when I was watching a Tyler 1 stream, and he finished the game and he made a perfect point about characters, and it links in with my point about Joel not being the same person as he should be. Completely different character. Just watch this clip and you'll understand.
Where Abby somehow found the map. You're telling me Tommy? Okay, I understand Ellie might forget the map on the ground. I mean, because it's her first time killing a pregnant person, right? So Ellie might, she would never forget. But let's just give you the benefit of the doubt and say that she forgot. Let's just say that Ellie forgot her map. Tommy is not a dumbass. Not on a million years would Tommy ever forget that, and it's right by her feet. They're not stupid. They're not stupid enough to get followed like that. Like, it is the same way earlier in the game when Joel and Tommy, again, were apparently the biggest fucking idiots in the game and followed random people, 2 random people into a fucking trap, and Joel died. Bullshit.
Sticking to the story, another letdown with the game is the ending. After leaving your new life as Ellie behind, you sacrifice your family to track a lead on Abby from Tommy, who, by the way, we all thought is fucking dead. You end up tracking her all the way from Jackson to California. You then kill a whole group of slave-keeping survivors who kidnapped her. You find her, you fight her, and finally, in that tiny moment of triumph, strangling Abby, holding her head underwater. She is just about to die, and I'm fucking smiling at my screen. All of that. She fucking lets her go. Did I also mention that Abby bit off 2 of Ellie's fingers? She bit off her finger! Ellie's mission throughout the whole game is to get revenge for Joel, and when she's just about to get it, she just lets her go. It makes no sense. She then returns to the farm to find that Dina and the baby are gone. She finds her stuff piled up in a corner and then wanders off into the forest. That is the ending. This seems like a really bad ending, and to be honest, it is. However, there is a meaning behind why they done it. What they're trying to show is that revenge isn't everything, and for Ellie, that ended up leading her to be forever in her nightmare, living with the thing that we all know that she fears the most, and that's being alone. Now, first things first for the good. This game is absolutely stunning, and it's probably the best graphics we'll see on the PlayStation 4. In the 7 years that Naughty Dog were designing The Last of Us Part 2, we can see how they pushed the PS4's hardware and took full advantage of it. They even have a specific camera animation for when you play as Abby when you look down because she's afraid of heights. That is some next level detail. There is literally no corner in this world that is untouched, and with my playtime, trust me, I would fucking know. The combat sequences that you engage in throughout the game are violent, gritty, and a perfect match for the game's theme. The NPCs you encounter have had a significant improvement in the way that they fight and move compared to the first game. Infected will now block and move away from your attacks, and if there's enough of them in an area, they will move in a herd and surround you, making it harder for you to escape. The groups of survivors will react to finding the bodies that you stealth kill on the floor and alert the others in the group. If they know your position, they can use a range of tactics to draw you out. They even send in members of their own group as bait, while they wait for you to react so they can shoot you from afar. The large detailed landscapes that you explore are filled with new puzzles and obstacles compared to the first game's various interactions with water, planks and ladders. Another amazing addition to The Last of Us is the various accessibility settings that allow you to make the game easier. You can completely remap your controller to fit your playstyle. There are various visual aids that change the colour of your HUD and a high contrast display that literally changes the whole game's textures with bright colours. Now, I've already said what I've had to say about the story, and I did say there was a few exceptions. There are a few cutscenes in this game that are some of the best storytelling we've seen across both of the games. I'm going to put a spoiler alert here as I'm getting into some of the cutscenes that involve some of the main plot, but a beautiful example of this point is right at the very beginning of the game, when Joel is telling Tommy what happened at the end of the last game in Jackson. This cutscene is so well put together with the music and the flashback, and it got me so hyped for the rest of the game. Another really good example of the brilliant storytelling is Joel and Ellie's trips to a Wyoming museum for her birthday. This whole chapter is so wonderfully put in together, showing this father-daughter relationship that was building up through the first game that we all know. Watching Joel smile as Ellie's nerding out about space and dinosaurs is just such a nice thing to watch, especially compared to all the other stuff that you have to experience through this game. Right, now some of the reviews I've seen for this... My camera just died. Good meme. Some of the reviews I've seen raise valid points. However, ones like this make me want to wash my face with bleach and broken glass. Overall, I'm torn, feeling both angry and disappointed at the game's ending, but also very invested emotionally and physically into the story, no matter how sloppy the writing gets. This game takes the characters we all grew to love and care for in the first game, and made them tackle these really dark and gruesome topics. The first Last of Us is what I started my channel on, the same channel that has unfortunately crashed and died. The first game has a whole completely different meaning to me, and where I've replayed it numerous times and experienced the story over and over again, the journey we go on in part 2 was designed to be a different experience from its predecessor, and it undoubtedly is. The Last of Us Part 2 is far from perfect, but no way is it a bad game. And that's why it pains me to say this, but The Last of Us Part 2, with all of its flaws and what it did right, I would give it an average rating of 7.2 out of 10.